Incredible Nanny's heartwarming comfort for terrified girl exposed. Father is a millionaire CEO. Lily stood by the enormous windows of her sprawling home, watching as the sun dipped below the horizon of Willow Creek, casting pink and gold hues on the manicured lawns. The scent of freshly mowed grass wafted through the air, yet it felt foreign and distant, almost mocking her loneliness. Her father, Jason, millionaire entrepreneur and CEO, was busy spinning another deal for his tech empire while she felt like an unseen ghost in her own life. The luxurious home, with its gleaming marble floors and endless pools, brought no comfort. It only whispered of the warmth and laughter that once filled their dining table, a warmth extinguished too soon with the death of her mother. Enter Mia, the nanny with a heart as big as the mansion they inhabited. Coming from a humble background, she arrived with a backpack full of art supplies and a smile that sparkled in the morning light. "Hi, Lily. Want to create something magical?" Mia's voice danced through the halls. Initially, Lily shrugged, burying herself deeper in her own sadness. But Mia's relentless optimism was like sunlight peeking through dark clouds. One day, over steaming mugs of hot chocolate, Mia asked, "What was your favorite family tradition?" Lily hesitated, the memory bittersweet. "Game nights, with pizza and silly movies, my mom loved those." A tear slipped down her cheek, and in that moment, Mia leaned in, her eyes soft and understanding. "Let's make our game night happen again, just us." With that, Mia broke through a wall no one else could touch, an invitation not just to play, but to feel again. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. As their bond deepened, Mia became the sister Lily had lost, a lighthouse guiding her through dark waters. Yet the stark reality of their different worlds was unmistakable. One evening, sitting on lily pads in the garden, tears glistened on Lily's cheeks as she confessed, "Dad's always away. He misses everything. Are we ever enough?" In that moment, the truth of it hung heavy in the air, a weight that seemed to ripple through the community. Her small act of rebellion, skipping school out of fear of being left again, caught the eyes of parents, teachers, and neighbors alike. It forced them all to face something uncomfortable: their collective neglect. Confronted by Lily's emotional chaos, Jason had to reckon with his choices. Standing tall like a fortress built on ambition, would he finally see the cracks formed between father and daughter? The moment felt electric, each heartbeat pulsing with unspoken words and hidden fears. And just when hope flickered in Lily's chest, the doorbell rang, shattering their fragile moment. She looked up, wide-eyed, as Jason's expression turned from hopeful anticipation to dread. Who stood on the other side? Would this mark the beginning of healing or plunge them into deeper wounds? The air crackled with uncertainty, and the shadows of their past loomed large, leaving Lily terrified yet resolute. Lily's heart raced as Jason walked towards the door, his footsteps heavy against the polished floor. What could shatter the silence of their little shared moment? Mia stood behind her, her presence steady yet filled with anxious curiosity. Both girls dared to hope, but deep down, that hope mingled with a knot of dread. Jason hesitated before opening the door, stealing glances at Lily over his shoulder. Those fleeting looks seemed to say 1,000 things, yet nothing at all. The doorknob turned, and as the door swung open, a tall man stepped inside, his presence brimming with authority. It was Mr. Martinez, Jason's business partner, known for his sharp suits and sharper deals. "Jason," he said briskly, the urgency in his tone immediately sucking the warmth from the room. "We need to talk now." Lily felt a shiver run down her spine. Jason's brow furrowed, every line of his face tightening with concern. She caught a hint of frustration mixed with stress. His world was pulling him away from hers once more. "Come in. Let us go to the office," Jason replied, gesturing for Mr. Martinez to follow. But before they walked away, Jason turned back to Lily, his voice softer. "I'll be just a minute, sweetheart. We're having ice cream later, remember?" "Yeah," Lily mumbled, even as the door clicked shut behind them. She felt abandoned again, the familiar ache creeping into her chest. Mia knelt down beside her, placing a gentle hand on her shoulder. "Want to go make popcorn?" Mia suggested, trying to fill the void. The idea didn't spark excitement in Lily's heart like it used to. It felt hollow, a stark reminder that game nights were no longer as they should be. She swallowed hard and nodded. In the kitchen, Mia worked her magic, the scent of buttery popcorn filling the air. But Lily barely noticed. Instead, she stared at the wall, lost in thoughts of what their lives could have been like if her dad was more present. She wanted to lash out, to scream that she was tired of being alone, tired of being put second after every last dollar. As Mia appeared with 2 bowls of popcorn, she tried to lighten the mood with a joke. But all Lily could muster was a weak smile. Then, out of nowhere, the doorbell rang again, an echoing chime that pierced through Lily's melancholy. "More visitors?" Mia whispered, watching Lily anxiously. Half hopeful, half afraid, Lily stood, her heart racing once more as she walked to answer. Who could it be now? She swung the door open, and in front of her stood a woman. At first glance, Lily noted the familiar green eyes and soft smile eyes that mirrored her own. "Mom?" Lily gasped, the breath catching in her throat. The woman, her mother's image almost alive but etched with a different charm, replied softly. "I'm sorry for the surprise. Can we talk?" Everything else faded away, the grand house, the popcorn, even Mia standing behind her looking stunned. All that remained was the unsteady cloud of hope swelling within Lily. Could this truly be a second chance? But deep down, an uncomfortable question clawed at her. If her mother were here now, how could she ever explain the chasm that had grown in her life since she'd left? What truths would have to surface, and would they all drown together in that turbulent sea of emotions? As they stood there, the silence thick with unsaid truth, Lily's breath quickened once again. What she didn't expect from this moment was the tension that wrapped around them like a vine, threatening to pull her back into the darkness she was starting to escape. Would this unexpected reunion heal their wounds or open old scars? Lily's heart thudded loudly in her chest. The surprise was as disorienting as it was thrilling. Her mother stood before her, a solid figure encircled by years of absence. The air grew thick, and she struggled to find her voice. "Why are you here?" The words slipped out, raw and unfiltered. Her mother's eyes darted around, momentarily taking in the house like a scene long forgotten. Then she locked onto Lily, her gaze firm, yet vulnerable. "I know I haven't been part of your life, and I am so sorry. I need to explain." Lily's chest tightened, fighting against the swell of emotions. She thought she'd prepared herself for this moment. The childhood fantasies of her mother returning had lingered through dark days. But now, standing face to face, everything felt overwhelming. "Explain what?" Lily challenged, her tone sharper than she intended. "That you just left? That you never looked back?" Mia shifted behind her, unsure of how to tread into this emotional minefield. But Lily didn't care. She needed answers. "Lily, please," her mother implored, taking a cautious step forward. "I promise I didn't want to hurt you. I had my reasons." "You had your reasons?" Lily echoed, incredulous. "You think that makes it okay? I spent years imagining what it would be like to have a mom around. Do you know how lonely it's been?" Tears welled in her mother's eyes, but Lily remained steadfast, unwilling to let sympathy weaken her resolve. She wasn't the little girl waiting anymore. She was a young woman who deserved the truth. "Your father and I, things got complicated," her mother began, her voice shaking. "I thought distancing myself would protect you. I thought leaving was the best choice." "Protect me?" Lily's voice turned bitter. "From what? From you? From a family? I didn't ask for that." Mia stepped in, her supportive presence now more crucial than ever. "Maybe we can all sit down and talk this through," she suggested, her voice steady. "There has to be more to this story." Lily shot her a glance, but didn't respond. She wasn't ready to let anyone else dictate this reunion. "A chance to explain is all I ask," her mother said, her hands trembling slightly at her sides. "Please, let me try." Lily could see the sincerity in her eyes, yet the shadows of all those missing years loomed large, whispering doubts in her ears. "You think talking will solve everything?" she asked, feeling the knot in her throat tighten. "I hope it will," her mother said softly. "Please, just give me a moment." Lily released a shaky breath, wrestling with the barrage of emotions, the swirling hope and bitter resentment complicating this long-awaited encounter. Fine, she relented, the word hanging heavily between them. But I don't know if I want to hear excuses. Mia offered her a reassuring smile, sensing the tension simmering. We're here, together, she whispered. Whatever happens, I'm with you. Lily nodded, feeling a mix of gratitude and apprehension. She had a tumult of feelings to unpack. As her mother stepped forward, ready to share the heavy truths of the past, Lily braced herself. Could this be the moment that began the healing? Or would it lead them further apart than ever before? With a deep breath, Lily squeezed her eyes shut for just a second, hoping the words that would soon flow wouldn't add to the scars she carried. She opened them again and faced her mother, ready, or at least trying to be. Okay, let us talk, she said, wondering if she truly was ready for what lay ahead. Meanwhile, outside, the faint sounds of laughter and joy echoed from the street, a stark contrast to the turmoil brewing just inside. Why was it always that way? She could hear the world moving on while hers felt frozen. Could their family ever find a way back to one another? Or was this a first step into more chaos? The questions loomed large as she prepared herself for the truth that would soon unfold. Lily stood still, the air around her tinged with the weight of unsaid words. Her mother's eyes were wet, shimmering with memories of a time long gone, a time when everything had felt right. But Lily couldn't afford the luxury of nostalgia, not now. Look, I don't know how this works, Lily said, voice shaking slightly. You come back after all these years, and I'm just supposed to sit here and listen? I know it's a lot to ask, her mother replied, her grip tightening on the edge of the dining table, as if it were her only anchor. But I'm here now, and I want you to understand why I left. Lily felt a flicker of something frustration, perhaps mixed in with the ever-present hurt. You made your choice then, why change it now? Her emotions were rising again, fierce and unwieldy. She turned a bit, looking at Mia, who nodded encouragingly but stayed silent, sensing she needed to let this unfold. With a shaky breath, her mother pressed on. After my parents divorced, I thought I could protect you from that pain. I believed staying away would spare you the conflicts. But you didn't consider how that pain would multiply, Lily said, her voice low but fierce. Not knowing who you were, not having a mother around. I had to invent stories about you. Tears rolled down her mother's cheeks, and Lily struggled with her own swelling emotions. What was she supposed to do with this? There wasn't a handbook for navigating such raw feelings. Your father, her mother paused, gathering herself. He pushed for me to leave. It's complicated. He was ambitious, and I lost myself in his dream. I can't even begin to express the guilt I've felt. Every day, I thought leaving would give you a better life, a better life. You think riches and success make everything better? Lily snapped. The pain in her heart twisted like a knife. You ripped apart what family truly means. For a moment, it felt like the room itself held its breath, the silence heavy and unbearable. I hear you, her mother said softly, and I've come to realize that wealth doesn't equate to happiness. Lily's brow furrowed. You say that now, but isn't that why you decided to leave in the first place? Her mother shook her head, a quiver in her voice. No, darling. I thought I was doing the right thing, but I see I was wrong. I know I can't erase the past, but I want to be here now. I want to be your mother. If you'll let me. The vulnerability rolled off her mother like a soft wave, yet Lily stood firm, wrestling with an internal tempest of conflicting emotions. Years of longing and disappointment collided in her chest, and she found herself gasping for air, a desperate need for clarity. Maybe we can figure it out together? Mia suggested gently, taking a step closer, her presence a calming balm. Rebuilding trust takes time, but it can also bring unexpected joy. It was a simple suggestion, yet it felt monumental. Lily's heart beat with the flicker of hope, but skepticism lingered like a ghost. Could they really find a new path together, a path forged from years of hurt? I don't know, she began, the uncertainty creeping in again. I'm scared. Her mother reached out slowly, tentatively, as though afraid Lily might flinch. It's okay to be scared. I am too. We're both learning how to navigate this. Looking at her mother, Lily saw not just a figure of her past, but a woman who had made mistakes, and who now stood vulnerable and willing to try for the present. Can we start with just talking? Lily asked, her heart racing, yet intrigued by the possibility that maybe, just maybe, This could be the beginning of something new to as her mother nodded, tears glistening in her eyes. Lily realized she stood at a crossroads. She could either choose to step forward into the unknown or remain rooted in the shadows of their past. And in that moment of reckoning, Lily wondered, was she finally ready to take a leap of faith, or would fear pull her back into the familiar darkness? Lily felt her heart thudding loud in her chest. This was the moment all the years of silence were leading up to, but it felt so fragile. Talking, she whispered, trying to wrestle the weight of what it meant. It was a big ask, a promise wrapped in uncertainty, yet it shimmered with hope, too. Her mother, wiping her tears, took a deep breath. I'm ready. We can share everything, the good, the bad. The words hung in the air, an invitation and a challenge. Lily understood the meaning behind the attempts to rebuild trust. It wasn't just about the past. It was about venturing into the future together. But the echo of hurt still gnawed at her. What is the first thing we talk about? Her mother took a moment, as if threading through the memories. Maybe we start with the reasons I left. It wasn't as simple as packing my bags. Lily nodded, wanting to hear every detail that would help her understand this woman who felt so distant. Okay, I want to hear. After your grandparents split, everything shifted. They were fighting, and I thought it'd break your heart to see that. I wanted to shield you from it, her mother began. But in trying to protect you, I didn't protect myself. My life became a charade. Living without you felt hollow. A pang shot through Lily. It should have felt comforting to hear her mother's truth, but the wounds were still fresh. But what about all the times I needed you? You choosing to be absent broke something deep inside me. I know, and I hate that I did that to you. I had my dreams, but they were foolish. I thought leaving meant saving you from the chaos, but I see now it just brought isolation. Lily felt the anger boiling inside her, but it mingled with something unexpected, a flicker of empathy. Trying to comprehend her mother's struggles brought the line between love and pain into sharper focus. I didn't just miss you. I missed the little things, a simple hug, or knowing you were there at bedtime. Her mother clenched her jaw, sorrowful yet determined. I'd give anything to change that. You have to believe me. Mia stepped forward again, her presence steady as a rock. It sounds like this is the place to open up about everything. The choices, the heartache, the longing. Maybe even what you both want moving forward. Lily glanced at Mia gratefully, feeling the encouragement seep into her. What do you want, Mom? What does this rebuilding look like? I want to be someone you can turn to. To never be a stranger again, her mother answered honestly. To earn your trust, to be there for you in the ways I should have been all those years. Trust again? Lily felt the weight of it settle in, like shadows creeping back into her mind. It felt daunting, intimidating. What if I can't? What if I fail? Then I'll be right here, reminding you that you're not alone. That this is a journey we can travel together, her mother reassured softly. Lily swallowed, her heart both breaking and mending at the same time. The openness was like a doorway to a new chapter, but fear still lingered, dark and clinging. Can we keep talking? About everything and anything? She suggested. Know the real us, not just the memories and stories. Her mother's smile was a mix of relief and gratitude. Absolutely. This is just the beginning. As the words settled around them, a new resolve seemed to pulse in the air. Understanding hung thickly between them, and they both knew that unearthing years of pain wouldn't come easy. Yet, there was something profound about trying. In the bittersweet comfort of shared vulnerability, Lily's thoughts turned to the future. What would it mean for them to navigate this unknown terrain together? And with the idea of trust being rebuilt, her heart beat with a mix of hope and doubt. How do we even begin? She whispered, staring into the warm eyes of the woman who had once been a ghost in her life. And as her mother opened her mouth to answer, a knock echoed through the silence, jolting them both. It was loud and unexpected, a new presence about to step into a fragile moment. Lily's heart raced with trepidation. Who could it be, and how? Would this alter what was just beginning? Lily's breath caught in her throat as the knock resonated like the tolling of a bell, shattering the fragile calm that had settled between her and her mother. Their moment felt precarious, hanging in the balance, and now it was being disturbed by an unknown visitor. Her palms began to sweat, and her heart thumped in a wild rhythm she couldn't control. Do you think we should answer it? Her mother asked, her voice barely a whisper, as if afraid to break their newfound connection. Lily hesitated, feeling caught between the comforting presence of her mother and the apprehension of the outside world. What if it's someone who doesn't understand? She murmured, the weight of their conversation still clinging to her. Maybe it's someone who does, her mother replied. There was a hint of optimism in her tone. Let us find out together. With cautious moves, they both stood, the air thick with expectancy. Each step toward the door felt monumental, a leap into whatever waited on the other side. Lily's heart raced, propelling them forward, as her mother's hand clasped around the doorknob. A silent promise of support as the door creaked open. Lily's breath hitched. Standing on the porch was a woman unlike anyone she had ever encountered. Dressed in a tailored suit, with perfectly styled hair and an air of confidence that radiated authority, the woman looked like she belonged in a high-rise office instead of a suburban neighborhood. "Excuse me," the woman began, a soft but commanding smile crossing her face. "I'm here to speak with Lily and her mother, if I may." "Who are you?" Lily asked, her voice shaky but curious. "My name is Grace. I work with your father," the woman replied, her eyes glinting with what seemed like understanding. "He asked me to check in." Lily's stomach dropped at the mention of her father. A man who had been absent, a distant figure represented only in photos and would-be conversations that never happened. "My father?" she echoed, disbelief coloring her tone. "Lily," her mother interrupted, her tone shifting to reassurance. This could be important, maybe an opportunity to know him better. As if sensing Lily's turmoil, Grace stepped forward slightly. "Your father's been through a lot, Lily. He regrets not being present in your life. He wants to clear the air, to show you who he is beyond the artist's shadow." The world around them seemed to still, her mother's eyes searching Lily's for guidance. "This is a lot," Lily admitted, feeling a mix of resentment and intrigue. "Why now?" "Sometimes it takes a catalyst, Lily. Change doesn't come without a little upheaval," Grace said gently, her voice soothing. Lily fought back the tumult of emotions churning within her. She had spent so long building walls, wrapping herself in the comfort of what little she knew. But the thoughts of a father yearning to connect tugged at her heart, a siren song she couldn't entirely ignore. "Can we talk?" Grace asked, her demeanor warm yet respectful. "I can help facilitate a conversation if you'd like. After all that has happened, it may not be easy, but you're not alone." The weight of decision crashed over Lily. She felt it pulsing through her soul. Was she willing to step back into the chaos she had tried to escape? Or was this a chance to confront unanswered questions, to finally piece together her identity? The possibilities raced in her mind, each one a fork in the road, with both fear and hope lighting the way. Taking a deep breath, Lily glanced at her mother, whose eyes reflected her own uncertainty, but also an unspoken encouragement. "Okay," Lily finally said, her voice steadier than she felt. "I'll hear him out." Grace smiled as if she could sense the shift within Lily. It was a moment of courage, an opening, and perhaps a way to mend not just the past, but to build something new. As they stepped into the unknown, the door to their future creaked wider, ready to reveal whatever lay on the other side. Would this conversation heal old wounds or open new ones? The air buzzed with anticipation, leaving Lily whispering another question only she could hear. "What kind of man is my father after all this time?" The silence in the living room felt like it threatened to swallow them whole. The air was filled with anticipation as Grace stepped inside, a broadening smile on her face. It was as if she carried with her not just news, but a kind of energy that reminded Lily of the warm afternoons spent under the sun, carefree and unburdened. "Let us all sit down," Grace suggested, gesturing toward the worn couch that had borne witness to countless family conversations. Without a word, Lily and her mother exchanged glances that spoke more than their lips ever could. They both knew this was not a conversation to be taken lightly. After everyone settled, Grace adjusted her posture, leaving no doubt that she was there to guide them through rough waters. "I know this is new, and it's okay to feel unsure. But Lily," she said, her eyes turning toward her, "your father really wants a chance to reconnect. He loves you, despite the distance. He has changed." "Changed? How?" Lily's voice dripped with skepticism. "Why should I believe you? I don't even know him." "Because he has been seeking help," Grace replied gently. "He is working on himself, on his issues. When I first met him, he was lost, dwelling in a life that didn't fulfill him. But he is finally ready to reach out, to admit the mistakes he made. Her words hung in the air, stirring a sense of curiosity mixed with indignation within Lily. Why now? Why couldn't he have shown up years ago, before the hurt carved its way into her life? The questions buzzed loudly in her head, drowning out Grace's next words, which flowed like water smoothing jagged stones. Lily, Grace continued, your father's business, his success isn't what defines him. It's his sincerity now that you should focus on. I get that it's hard to see past the absence, but think about this. What if he truly means to be there, to learn about you, to understand you? The word learn caught Lily off guard. Could someone like her father, a figure shrouded in wealth and ambition, really become a part of her life? It felt like reaching for the stars, a dream too far removed from her reality. Let us look at this another way, Grace continued. If you give him a chance, you might just discover pieces of yourself that have been hidden beneath resentment. Every family has cracks, but they can also heal, if both sides want it bad enough. Lily wanted to argue, to retort that it shouldn't be up to her to make that decision. But the glimmer of a chance of hope was starting to shine in the dark. Her gaze flickered toward her mother, who listened intently, a hint of hope in her eyes too. What do you think, Mom? She finally asked, her voice small. I think it's worth exploring, her mother answered slowly, her tone cautious but tinged with possibility. No one can change the past, but we can shape our futures. Lily's heart raced again, caught in a storm of conflicting emotions. There was fear, hope, anger, and even faint anticipation swirling together like colors on a painter's canvas. She remembered countless nights spent dreaming of a different life, of asking questions only to learn to forgive without ever knowing the truth. Okay, she said, her voice barely above a whisper, but laced with newfound determination. I'll meet him, but only if he has truly changed. Grace's smile widened, and Lily felt a strange warmth wrap around her heart. That's the spirit. I promise you'll be taken care of. As they rose from the couch, the weight of decision crystallizing in her mind, Lily couldn't shake the thought of what lay ahead. Was this the beginning of uncovering her father's truth, or would it tear apart what little she had left? The question lingered like a ghost as they prepared to step forward. Would her father really be the man Grace described? Or would Lily's cautious hope come crashing down as the reality of their reunion began to shape itself? The door to the unknown loomed ahead, and with each step, Lily felt the gravity of her decision pulling her closer, but not yet bringing her full circle to the answers she craved. The morning sunlight filtered through the sheer curtains, casting a gentle glow across Lily's room. She lay awake, staring at the ceiling, her thoughts a tangle of worry and anticipation. Today was a turning point, a moment she had never imagined would come. Meeting her father felt surreal, like stepping onto a stage without knowing the lines. Lily, time to get up. Her mother called from downstairs, breaking her reverie. With a sigh, she pushed the covers back and swung her legs over the side of the bed. The wooden floor chilled her feet, the reality of the day settling heavily on her shoulders. After a quick shower and a modest breakfast, Lily joined her mother in the living room. Grace had already arrived, her warmth radiating through the air as she chatted with Lily's mother. A sense of calm surrounded them, but Lily felt like a caged bird, ready to take flight, yet terrified of what lay beyond the bars. Seeing Grace's encouraging smile made her heart flutter. You ready? Grace asked, her voice comforting. Lily nodded, though the knot in her stomach tightened. She focused on the way Grace's eyes sparkled with encouragement. Yeah, let us do this, she said softly, surprising even herself with the steadiness of her voice. They piled into the car, the drive a blur of landscapes that seemed to rush past as her mind ran through 1,000 scenarios. What would she say? What would he look like? Would he even want to know her? Each question pounded like a drum, reverberating through her chest. As they arrived at the cafe where they would meet her father, Lily's breath caught in her throat. She glanced at her mother, who offered a reassuring nod. Grace's hand reached over to give Lily's shoulder a gentle squeeze, the simple gesture fortifying her resolve. Remember, it's okay to take your time. You don't have to say everything at once, Grace advised, her calm demeanor working its magic on Lily's racing heart. With a shaky breath, Lily stepped into the cafe, the aroma of freshly brewed coffee enveloping her like a warm hug. Her eyes darted around, searching for the man she had scarcely known. There he was, sitting at a small table in the corner, his back facing her. He appeared alone, a tall figure with broad shoulders, wrapped in a charcoal gray suit that screamed success. "Lily?" Grace whispered, nudging her forward. Tentatively, she approached, every step heavy with the weight of her apprehension. As he turned to face her, time seemed to pause. His striking features echoed in the mirror of her own face, a reflection of a man she had only seen in photographs. His eyes, deep and uncertain, locked onto hers. "Lily," he breathed, visibly taken aback. "I can't believe it's really you." Her heart pounded, each beat echoing the conflict inside her. This was it, the moment she'd both dreaded and yearned for. "Why now?" she finally managed to ask, her voice steady despite the storm inside. Each word was loaded with years of questions, unspoken pain, and the hope for something that might resemble a relationship. His expression shifted to one layered with regret and vulnerability. "Because I've realized I've lost so much time, and I don't want to miss any more." Lily could feel the air shifting around them, the weight of years filled with silence and absence pressing heavily on the table between them. She had glimpsed her father's world through Grace's words, but now she needed to see it firsthand, to understand if this was an opportunity for healing or just another false promise. "I want to know you," she said softly, battling the surge of emotions rising within her. His eyes softened, and in that moment, she was assailed by a whirlwind of feelings she hadn't expected: curiosity, anger, longing, and a sliver of hope. But could this truly lead to something meaningful? As they sat, the conversation started, the ice beginning to crack ever so slightly between them. Yet the lingering question nestled deep in her mind remained unanswered. Would building this bridge allow them both to cross to the other side, or would it crumble under the weight of their past? The flickering flame of uncertainty danced before her, begging to be explored, leaving her heart racing as they took their first steps into the unknown. And just as she was beginning to find her footing, his next words shifted the ground beneath her in a way she hadn't anticipated. "I've thought about you every day," he said, his voice thick with a mix of regret and sincerity. "Not a day has gone by where I didn't wonder what it would be like to have you in my life." Lily's breath hitched. Those words glimmered like a distant star, illuminating the dark sky of her disbelief. Did he truly mean that? The idea of him thinking about her, wishing for a connection, stirred something deep within her. Yet the skepticism loomed large. Years had passed. Where had he been all this time when she needed him most? "I need you to understand," she said slowly, trying to bridge the gap of uncertainty. "It's not just about meeting you today. It's about everything that has happened, everything you weren't part of. I grew up without you." His gaze drifted down to the table, as if he could physically grasp the years they lost, the moments unshared. "I know. And for that, I'm so sorry," he replied, his voice barely a whisper, full of remorse. "I want to make it right, starting today. I know I can't change the past, but I can. But can you change?" Lily interrupted, feeling a surge of anger mixed with vulnerability. "Can you really be there for me now? Or is this just another fantasy?" The weight of her question hung heavy in the air. For a fleeting instant, she feared the answer. Her heart raced painfully. Would he simply offer empty promises, words dressed in apologies meant to soothe but never heal? "Please just give me a chance," he urged, leaning forward so the desperation in his voice was clear. "Let me show you that this can be something special. I've made a lot of mistakes, and I've hurt a lot of people, my family, especially yours. But I want to change for you." The room felt smaller, the air thick with tension and fragility. It was both hopeful and haunting, a dance of emotions swirling together like uncertain smoke. She stared into his eyes. Did she see sincerity there, or just shadows of yet another excuse? "I don't know how to trust you," she admitted, tears threatening to spill over. "I've been trying to build a life without you, and I'm scared that turning back now could break me even more." "I understand," he replied, his expression earnest and appealing. "What if we took this one day at a time? No expectations, no pressure. Just talk and see what happens." She wanted to cry. The barrier between her heart and his one she wasn't sure she could dissolve. Yet the thought of even trying flickered inside her with a spark of hope. Okay, let us talk, she said quietly, feeling a mixture of determination and despair as they began to share stories about their lives. The barriers between them slowly opened. The initial awkwardness gave way to shared laughter and truths, each story weaving a fragile thread connecting their lives. Yet, deep down, fear remained like a looming shadow. Can I ask you something? She paused, biting her lip. Of course, he encouraged, his eyes steady on her. What does it mean to you to have me as your daughter? The weight of her question felt immense, her pulse quickening as she awaited his answer. He took a moment, his gaze drifting into the distance. It means everything. I've lost a part of my heart, and I wish I could take back what I did, but here we are. I want to make it count now. The tremor in his voice bore a hint of vulnerability, and Lily felt a flicker of warmth again. Yet doubt lingered. Could he really change? Could they really have a future? As the sun began to sink outside, casting a warm golden light into the cafe, the reality of their situation sunk in once more. They were just at the beginning of a very long road. I guess it's a start, she breathed, barely able to contain the whirlwind of emotions swirling inside her. Yes, it is, he replied, smiling gently. But even as the moment began to feel comfortable, Lily couldn't shake the feeling that the real challenges were just beginning. With every word spoken, every truth revealed, there loomed an even greater question. Would the past stay buried, or would it come roaring back to confront them both? And as that thought lingered, she watched the expression on his face, wondering if he was just as uncertain about their journey ahead. Lily sat in the cafe, sunlight spilling through the windows, illuminating the small space with a warm glow. Her father sat across from her, his profile illuminated by the soft light. There was a hint of vulnerability in his sharp features, a glimmer of sincerity that gave her a flicker of hope. One day at a time, he had said. It seemed so simple, yet monumental. And here they were, in the same room, their lives intertwined in a way that felt both surreal and terrifying as they continued to share their stories. Laughter began to weave through their conversations, each giggle marking a brick being laid in an uncertain path to rebuilding their connection. Speaking about silly school projects and childhood dreams eased the tension, drawing the invisible line closer together. But Lily knew, in the depths of her heart, that the real work was only just beginning. So what is your biggest regret? Lily asked, curiosity laced with caution. He paused, his gaze dipping down as if searching for the right words buried deep within years of absence. Not being there for you, not being part of your life when it mattered most. I chased after dreams and never realized the cost. The remorse and longing were clear in his voice, and Lily could almost feel the weight of his words. It's not just about missing out, though. It's about all the moments you've lost. You didn't see me grow. Her voice cracked, honesty spilling forth like tears waiting to be shed. I know it's hard to believe, he replied softly, but I've thought about you every day. I'm trying to change that, trying to be the father you deserve now. Lily searched his eyes, longing to see the truth reflected there. She wanted to believe, yet doubt lurked like shadows fading into the twilight. You can't just say those things. You need to show me. I understand. I can't erase the past, but I can work hard to be present. Let us take a step back from everything. Just let things blossom naturally. As they sank deeper into their conversation, something shifted. A simple acknowledgement began to grow within Lily. Maybe he wasn't perfect, and neither was she. But there was gentleness, a spark of opportunity. Meanwhile, just outside the cafe, Mia watched from the window, giving Lily a thumbs up through the glass. Mia's presence gave her strength, reinforcing the idea that she wasn't alone in this. The thought brought a surge of warmth to Lily's chest. Mom is waiting back at home, Lily said, glancing at the time. She must be anxious to hear how it went. Let us wrap things up here, her father suggested, tightening his eyebrows into an expression of honest concern. I don't want to impose on your family time. I want to respect your space. Lily felt a wave of gratitude wash over her. He was listening. That simple acknowledgement gave her courage. You can come by, she said, catching herself surprised. You can meet her, if you want. Really? He asked, eyes widening with unexpected joy. Yeah, but it'll take time, she warned, wishing to manage expectations. I'm okay with that, he promised, his voice steady. As Lily finished her last sip of hot cocoa, she looked at her father, a semblance of a smile creeping onto her face. Okay then, it's a start. They stepped out together, the air fresh and crisp like the beginnings of spring, the possibility of life blooming into new horizons. Lily breathed in deep, the sun warm on her skin. The earlier storm inside her had calmed, replaced by a cautious sense of optimism. Back at the house, the moment of truth awaited. As they pulled into the driveway, Lily felt the shared silence brimming with anticipation. Her hand hesitated on the doorknob. Was she really ready? Deep breath, she reminded herself. Mia stood nearby, her eyes sparkling with excitement as she caught sight of them approach. Lily took another deep breath and pushed the door open. The familiar scent of home enveloped her, the warmth inviting. But there lay a trail of tension as her mother turned from her spot in the kitchen, measuring cup in hand. Hey, how did it go? Her mother's words were cautious, excitement, weaving through uncertainty. Lily turned to her father, heart racing, and said, Dad has something to share. Can we talk? All together? Her mother's eyes flickered, surprise spilling forth like the tiniest tremor in her voice. Of course. And there it was, the bridge they were beginning to build. As the shadows of the past lingered faintly, in that moment, surrounded by warmth and light, Lily felt a radiant sense of possibility. It wouldn't be easy, and days may come wrapped in challenges and struggles, but for the first time in what felt like a lifetime, hope vibrated brightly within her. This was the moment where healing began, the first chapter of their new story. And with Mia's unwavering support, she was ready to take that leap into a future where love could mend what was once lost. Now the journey truly starts, not just for Lily, but for her father and mother too. They would learn to face their fears, explore the shadows together, and create something new, the essence of family rekindled. And as the day ended, what had once felt distant was now a shimmering possibility. This isn't just a transformation of one. It's the rebirth of a family, a collective journey toward understanding and love. If you love this story as much as we love creating it, you need to subscribe now to the channel. This is the moment to show your support. Leave a like right now to feed the algorithm and help us reach even more hearts with our stories. Comment below with your reactions and feelings about this heartfelt ending. We want to hear from you. And don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. You know they deserve to witness the power of family and love. Thank you for being part of our journey.